This is an India Today exclusive. I'm being joined by former Vice President of the Maldives, Faisal Naseem. Thank you so much for joining us here on India Today, sir. Let's begin with the controversy itself. It has, in certain ways, damaged ties between the two countries and the two peoples. Whether if it's people of Maldives or, for that matter, people of India, we are seeing a massive social media war with a call to boycott Maldives. So, what is your reaction and take on the controversy?
First of all, we strongly condemn this derogatory remarks by government officials, and I think it's time. It's even too late, I would say, that government engage with the Indian government and then come to the table and then we have to repair the damage. Of course, I think we should be doing it because Maldivians are always peace lovers. We, both the countries, we have a friendship, we have a relation that goes back to decades, and we can never remember. And India has always been there whenever the Maldives needed its assistance in many ways. We should also believe that there are so many Maldivians going to India for medical reasons and of course for studies and other purposes. A lot of trade in between the Maldives and India. At the same time, we have lots of investments from Indian business people. They have invested heavily in the resorts. We have lots of people working in the Maldives, lots of Indians working in the Maldives, and also many people in the education sector, health sector. So I think it's time that both be more responsible, especially the government should be responsible and then repair this damage, I think.
When it comes to the tourism sector, you yourself, before entering politics or being appointed vice president, were from the tourism industry. How do you think it has impacted the tourism industry, not just in the near in the recent current days, but in the coming days, in the coming future? Do you think tourism industry will be impacted? We have stars, Bollywood stars, actors, all of them saying we're not going to go and shoot in the Maldives. Do you think it is going to majorly impact?
Any kind of boycotting will definitely cause, problems to an extent, for sure. Any parts of the world, if there's any negative publicity that will have a great impact. We see this due to this only happened from this remarks of the three government officials. We don't want to see them because Maldives is, I would say, second to none leading destination in the world where celebrities and all these people, they love the Maldives from India, from across the world, and this is hard work of so many people, this private sector for the last 50 years. And of course we know that this kind of controversial things will have some negative impact on the economy. We the Maldivians don't want to see that. I'm sure that it's not the Maldivian people, it's just very few people that they have these views, and it's not the view of the Maldivians. Maldivians today strongly condemn these remarks, and the government must be responsible, taking action and doing it at the right time. So it's I believe that it is even now it is too late to sit and then to repair it.
But President Moizu did come to power with the help of former President Yamin and with this entire campaign, the rhetoric of India out. How do you then see, and he was voted in, so there were people who voted the idea of not favoring India. how do you read into that? Because we are looking at distancing between Maldives and India today, like never before.
I, we see that the people always elected government for the last, from the 2008, we see that it's always a new government comes in. That's what we have seen in the past. But people elect a government to run the country, to safeguard its people, to work for the betterment of the country, not to be against any country, for sure. No. So I think there's no, I wouldn't blame anyone. I mean any the people of the country. No, I wouldn't do that. But because they have a good intention, whichever government comes to power. So it's today I think it's the responsibility of the government to speak to the Indian government, Indian authorities, and to repair it. I mean, to come back to normal situation. I think that is the most important thing for now. Whatever has happened, unfortunately, very regrettably, I would say, unfortunately, this has happened, and we regret very much. We strongly condemn this act. But now it's time to work together again. To work together, we can never go forward without our friends. We only can succeed working together.
Do you think the Modi administration has done enough? Temporary suspensions of the sitting deputy ministers, is that enough? Or should they have done more, including strong condemnation, apology, whatever it is, and a permanent termination?
Well, Maldivian people, the citizens, they are very much peace-loving people. They respect other countries, they respect the neighbors, and we don't want to see that this kind of things targeting to leaders of neighboring countries or the world. No Maldivian want to see this. The government must take action, I think, must take action, because we are talking about a country, we are talking about hundreds of thousands of people, lives here, and then suspension, no, I never believe that it is that's, I wouldn't say that's enough. Of course, they must take the proper action against that.
The tourism sector being affected, but there are other areas also. We've seen dip in ties, like you said, with every change in government. But with this government now, President Muizu is in China, engaging the Chinese administration. He's gone there with almost the entire cabinet. There are a lot of agreements that are going to be signed. Do you see distancing between the two countries, the fact that they're moving far rather than coming closer, India and the Maldives?
Well, it's less than 2 months. The government is in for less than 2 months now. We see all these things. Maldives has always worked with many countries. Our administration also worked with lots of countries in the Europe, Middle East, and neighboring countries. Of course, very closely with India. We also worked with China. And today I believe that the government should, for the sake of its people and then for the progress of our nation, the current government also must work with all the countries, with India too. I don't see that we gain anything by distancing country, especially India as a neighbor and also our closest friend for many years, who has been there, as I have said, whenever we needed our first responder. So I would like to see that the government work with India, wield this problem before it is, because this only will have a greater impact on the people, on the economy. We should think about that. I think where it will lead to, right. The result, the consequences.
Right. I fail to understand why the meltdown. Prime Minister Modi just spoke about Lakshadweep. He had not even mentioned the Maldives. Then why this entire campaign and a meltdown by certain sitting ministers?
I can't say anything about someone. Another leader of a country promoting his own country. I just can't say anything about that.
There is no competition.
Yeah, but we have been promoting the Maldives for the last many years, and then we should continue, I think, because we will always have competition. We will have competition. We will, because Maldives is a very beautiful place, and I think wherever it is possible, we have seen islands, made to look like the Maldives in even other parts of the world, because Maldives is such a place that people love from everywhere. So I think this is quite normal, but we have to engage in marketing, and we have to promote our country, as a destination, and I think that will also never end. That will never end.
But this entire India Out campaign was particularly focused on Indian military. What is the kind of presence that we're looking at? Wasn't it just humanitarian emergency services that India was providing?
Well, India's assistance, I have said that it's whenever we needed there, India has always been there. I mean, I was the COVID. During the COVID time, we were managing all these things, and India was the country who has supported, us with the vaccine and a lot of other things. So I think India has helped in many ways, technically and also other ways. So that's what I believe.
All right. And when we're looking at the relationship between the two countries, do you see the relationship getting better anytime soon? Should the opposition get involved, engage, reach out to New Delhi? How do you look at things pan out?
Well, I have said that a government is elected by the people for a purpose. That's for a purpose. To engage with other countries, other governments, just only for the sake of the people here. So today, I think it's very time that the government must take a step forward to engage with the authorities, with the Indian government, because we can never go like that. We can't go. We cannot be hostile. It's time that we have to come together, and especially our neighbor, India. We can't just distance. I don't believe in that. So we as oppositions, or we as citizens of the country, we will always do what we should do to our country, to our people. We will definitely be doing that. We will voice out what we feel. But today, it's not our government. We are not in the government. That's why we call on the government. We urge the government that it should engage, and then do everything that is right for our country. Right. That's it.
Right. Finally, is there a concern when it comes to how the two countries are moving, and the fact that there was a proposal maybe for a visit by President Muizu in December 2023? New Delhi waited it out. Is India also playing a wait and watch, and is that how we're looking at ties moving from here on?
I don't get such information from this government about the invitation and others. I only see that the president has traveled to China and engaged in a lot of things there. China. I have no information about this, but I think the president must travel to India too, and then must engage in talks and also a developmental agenda, I think. That's what.
Is there an over-engagement with China? Is that a concern? We've seen what happened in Sri Lanka. So is there a concern amongst the Maldivians that there's too much of engagement with one country and ignoring all others?
We, the administration of President Saleh, we engage in all the countries. We also worked with China and Middle East and European countries, and especially very close to India. I think that we should not be just only working with just one country and leaving others behind. I don't think that is the best way forward for the country. I think it's time that we work with all the countries. We should be working with India for the rest of, even in the future. The past, we see many years we were very close together, so we should have the same ties, same relation with India.
On that note, thank you so much for joining us here on India Today. This is Geeta Mohan reporting from Male for India Today.